All right, let's do it. Okay, so the whole idea of recovery is really so that you perform even better and feel good doing it. So if we're focusing on the push press, these are the most optimal releasing, mobility, and activation drills to do so that you recover faster, feel better, but most importantly, perform better. All right, so what we're gonna do is release. Now, a lot of times, if you can demonstrate for me, so you can stand this way.
All right.
So a lot of times, we want to work on our push press, right? And we may have an issue that we feel like it's with our shoulder. And really, in a lot of cases, it's not the shoulder, it's our T-spine. Sometimes it is, but for the sake of today, we're gonna focus on the T-spine. And what we wanna do is make this more mobile so that you can push through that window. A lot of times our back is stiff, that pushes us forward, and when we try to push through that window, we're not having any give here. And so now we're forcing and straining that delt to push through, and that's where those issues are coming from, that compensation. So what we're gonna do, now if you can stand this way for me, thank you. We're gonna use a peanut to release the tension of the muscles around the T-spine. That little groove is where the spine would be, and we want it from where the ribs are up to the midway bottom of the shoulder blade. So that's what we're gonna release. Some main things of whenever you're releasing, obviously we're releasing tension, so we wanna make sure that we're not putting any of our own tension into it. So you wanna be as relaxed as possible, breathe. Now what we wanna do is really get into the muscles of that T-spine, so we kinda have to expose it or open them. What we're gonna do is a pelvic tilt where you're rounding out your tailbone, you're rounding out the low back, almost like you're trying to press it into the floor, and that's gonna open up the back more, put pressure into the ball to release that tension. Now again, the whole idea of specificity for the push press, so what we want to do is maintain that as we actively go through, not flexing the back muscle so much, but more so the shoulders, so that we're teaching the body to loosen up in the position that we want. How's that feel? All right, that means you're doing it wrong. It should feel horrible. It should like...
I mean,
Cool, all right, let's go ahead and come up. So now what we're gonna do is the mobility drill, and we're gonna put the roller in that same spot that we did. So what we're opening up is the T-spine, not your low back. But we don't want the low back to compensate and help out, so we're going to create that tuck, a light contraction in the pelvic floor muscles, and then we're going to go into that back extension. There you go, cool, and then back up. Now this time we actively want to use these muscles, so we are flexing the back muscles, we're flexing the shoulders, the delts, and we're having that smooth, controlled motion so that we're getting the flexibility, but we're also getting active range of motion. Cool. Now we're gonna do one more, finish that one, and then we're gonna take this roller up. There you go, just to the bottom of the shoulder blades, and then we're gonna do it again. So the same way we do different mobility drills for the ankle, for the knee, these are your joints. So your spine has multiple vertebrae, multiple joints. So we want to move the roller at each section of it so that we're actually getting that mobility all the way through the spine, not just in one spot. All right, let's go ahead and stand up. So to have a proper, optimal, full recovery routine, we need all three together, meaning we're going to release that tension. We're going to get that joint more mobile. Now we got to activate and strengthen the muscles around it, kind of like glue to hold it all together. In this case, if we're using more of the anterior muscle, we want to focus more on the support system or anchor of it, which is going to be the posterior delts or the posterior chain. So we're going to use the rack for it. You're going to stand right there in that window. Great. Now what we want to do is push away, creating that Y. There you go. So we want to push our arms away from the shoulders, away from the body, and then you're going to pull back, engaging those posterior muscles right there, and then come back to the wall. And now holding that, you're gonna tuck your shoulders in, squeezing the shoulder blades all the way down. There you go. So you're gonna feel that contraction in those muscles and then come back out. And so what we're doing is creating a separation. We're forcing that mobility. We want the muscles and the joints to move together so that we're performing optimally and not having any compensations. And that's it.
All right, awesome. Feel better already.
There you go. I feel worse.
Yeah, you did all the work. I got the recovery part. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's 3 exercises from myself and Ro. We look forward to giving you some more video series just like this.
Thank you for watching. This is for you.